Wrestlingus Show. Here we back, boy. Wrestlingus Show. Fuck those we annoy. Wrestlingus Show. Too hard for the meat. Wrestlingus Show. On the air every week.
Yes, hello, it is I, Danhausen here. Very nice, very evil, very famous. Yes, anyways, we're here to introduce you, Television Zone Danhausen, to Cav Manninghausen in the Fausty Walnuthausens. You're listening to Wrestlingus Show. Yes, it's pretty good, huh? He's pretty good. All right, anyways, gotta review wrestling or something. I don't know. Have fun or to be cursed or whatever you do. I don't know.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody can say it right.
I'm Cav Manninghausen along with Fausty Walnutshausen, and you're listening to the Wrestling Us show. I go,
Fantastic.
you know, it's not a separate word. It's not separated.
I wonder if he goes down on his wife. Probably not.
Oh, you know what's funny? Yeah, she's all white on her puss. With black lips. What? So I'm like, I write the review and I said, fantastic. Said the name wrong, but this is what we like, though. We like people to. This is the old school Howard show where it's like Gary Delabate someone's, and they keep it in.
Right.
They're like, you're listening to the Gary Delabate and John Hinn, you know, and Robin Quibbin, you know, shit like that. So it's like, it's funny. You just keep it in and let people fuck it up. But when I wrote, I said, by the way, it's wrestling. It's wrestle-lingus. Not wrestling-us. And then that's how I left it. So I was like, maybe he'd send a second. Who the fuck knows? You know? But it's,
I got your money's at her.
I got your monies. What's funny, you see them reading what you're asking. Like, I go, is this the first time they get to see it? And it's like when the camera comes on, then the fucking... I can't imagine that. It would have to be... Because you see him looking.
No, because you have to accept it first before you, you know.
And he's like, you could tell, like, I see a lot of these ones. Like, you'll go through people's thing. I think they're just like, give me the fucking money. I don't care about... Like, you see a lot, like, yeah, I'll just say what I have to and not put any effort into giving a shit about it. Like, but like MJF jumps through a hoop a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that too, because
they're $500 too.
Yeah, because he's like, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it worth my while.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much Mick Foley's is, but so his new podcast started, Foley is Pod. And at the end of his podcast, I guess this is going to be a weekly gimmick. Let's see how long it lasts. But he records a cameo.
Oh, while he's on with it?
While he's on there. Like, it gets to the end, and he's like, Conrad's like, oh, did you want to, the first episode, he's like, hey, did you want to do a live cameo reading? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do that. I think it's good. And he says, hey, I put effort into this because, you know, I know people are sending this. I don't want to just go through it, you know? And he even, he bought, it's on order, a Mankind mask. And Conrad's like, you don't own one? He goes, no. He goes, don't you remember Lost Treasures? They were hunting it down, the original. He goes, so he ordered two. So that way, because I think he has one now, but he's getting another one. But he's like, he goes through all four. He goes, here, I hate Mick Foley here. And, oh, baby. You know, he goes
really? Wow.
And then here comes Cactus Jack, and then Mankind comes in.
Jesus.
So like, and it's like his birthday, and he's singing a song. So he's singing Happy Birthday. Not
how much is his?
I should look it up.
Yeah, because that's fucking like I go for Danhausen. I go, this poor bastard got to put on a whole fucking makeup, and to do this,
he probably probably does it once a week. He's like, I'm putting my makeup on, and I'm just gonna bang them all out today.
That is my thought. However, he's in his house when he was recording this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm expecting it backstage AEW. I got to put on my makeup when I'm there. He's sitting at home and go, well, I got to fucking pump these out. And I'm like, Jesus.
10% off cameos for Father's Day.
We need to get Bruce Buffer, I'm telling you.
Mick Foley is
$350.
$135.
That's not bad. That's only $35 more than Hausen.
How much do you think Noelle Foley is?
$35.
Let's see.
This is the game we play.
Oh, she's not taking any right now, so it doesn't have her.
That's odd.
Doesn't have a price.
She's too busy. How about Frank?
She's not taking any requests at this moment. Notify me when she's available.
Frank, $5. I love it. They're like, Hello, Fausty Walnuts. I'm here. I'm Noel Foley, and I wanted to say hi. You know, it's say your full name so they know it's to you. If you only said Chris, I'd go, well, this is everybody gets this fucking one.
Yeah. You know, and so Greg Miner just wanted me to, he's telling me that it's your birthday and you're a big fan. So I just wanted to say thanks for supporting me and happy birthday. And,
I fucking listened to, you know, I told you about the Dan Bernstein show on 670 The Score in fucking Chicago, right? And the very pompous, you know, for all the workers. Thank you. You know, that kind of thing, you know. And so I go to his and I'm like, and they have all the ones that they priorly did. And I laugh because it's so that radio. He goes, hi, Dan Bernstein here. And I'm always like,
nice.
Oh, fuck. And so he goes through, your buddy tells me. And I'm like, oh, no. And when he goes through is he goes, your buddy says, you're a worse fisherman than he is, and he's horrible. You know, I'm like, oh no. I'm like,
yuck it up.
Oh, fuck
yuck
it.
up.
And you are a bad fisherman. I'm like, oh. I go, what the fuck? Part of me wants to buy these things just to fucking as jokes. You know, I'm like, it's a fucking joke. Hi, Dan Bernstein here, and welcome to the Wrestlingus show. It's all these fucking voices. How come I can't get a job doing that? Because I can fake that shit. I can fake that radio bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, and you do the wrestling, but choke yourself while you talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you about January 6th. See, I could go through all of that. Calf Manning here for their 680 The Score. Oh, God. All right, let's get to some fucking wrestling housing, shall we, Faust? Let's let you in here
Yes,
again.
hello, it is I, Danhausen here. Very nice, very evil, very famous. Yes, anyways, we're here to introduce you, television zone Danhausen, to Cav Manninghausen in the Fausty Walnuthausens. You're listening to
You're wrestling
Wrestling Us show.
Yeah.
Yes, it's pretty good, huh? It's pretty good. All right, anyways, gotta review wrestling this one. I don't know.
I guess
Find
they
out to be
review
cursed or
wrestling.
whatever you do. I don't know.
I don't know.
And I said on the
I don't know.
note,
I got their money. I don't care.
yeah, I go, we think you're fantastic and, you know, very creative. I said, we're fine with whatever you want to say. This is the main thing to say. Anything else, we don't care. We think you're creative. This is I'm creative walking to my bank to take your money.
I got in a golf cart.
I still love it. Like we were talking earlier, I'm like, we gotta get Danhausen fucking one just because. You know what I may pay for next, Faust? Let me see. What I pay for next? No wake Layla Hirsch from the hospital bed.
Yeah, we can help pay for her medical bills.
Oh my God. See if she's on there. There's no way. There's no way. And if she is, it's $50. At the fucking dead worst, it's $50. It'd be like checking her inbox all the time. I got no requests. She should be jumping through a hoop if you actually request her. What do we have?
No.
Nope, not even there, right? Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Did I spell her name right? Is it L-A-Y or is it L-E-Y?
I think it might be L-E. Layla.
Her name was Layla.
No wake. Did you type in no wake first?
No, I got Amanda Hirsch, but that's it.
Who's Amanda Hirsch? She's maybe a newscaster person.
Podcast host.
Jesus Christ. Faust, we should put our thing on there for $5 as a fucking joke. You imagine? Let's see who fucking would do it.
You know who came up? Because Hirsch is close to Hirsch.
AJ. How much is his? $20. $25.
25.
There you go. Yeah, $25. You know what would be funny to do it?
Rock Pro. Oh, and you can get it as AJ
or bro
or fucking
Broseph.
Wow. What is it, Brody Joe Brody or something?
Brody Joe Broseph Joe yeah, fuck. Faust, we should do it because he knows us and probably isn't that fond of us anyway. And then make him have to. He'd be like, I know these fucking losers. For $25, it might be worth it.
They tried to get me in TNA gut check, and I didn't even want to.
I didn't even want to be in it. I forgot we were fucking trying to get him into that. Holy shit.
Found AJ Kirsch for gut check.
Yeah, holy shit. All right, Faust, we're 10 minutes in. We haven't gotten to AEW.
Okay.
Rampage, Hager versus Eddie. My friend King. You know, I've liked this Eddie Kingston ever since ROH.
So I know you're a big fan. So did you tune in 5 minutes early on Twitter so you could see the ring entrance?
I'm not that big of a fan. I need to watch them walk to the ring.
Believe that?
Holy
hey, everyone,
shit.
if you want to see ring entrance, tune into social media.
It's unbelievable.
5 minutes before the show. I liked Hager's like Zubaz inspired like fighting UFC style shorts. And then I'm like, are those sponsors on there? But I couldn't tell what any of the logos were. I'm like, are these even real? I just saw the Jazz one, but that was about it.
Multiple spinning back fists and pins, and then Kingston's in shock because he won and he never does win. He's like,
what did you think of Kingston's chops in the corner where he's just like,
yeah, he does. That's the weird thing because
like,
he's done that before where it's like he barely starts hitting the
Mm-hmm.
guy and you're like, all right, you can give that up. Every time he does that, it's a problem.
I was like, wow, this is a rare Jake Hager singles match. So I'm like, let me do some research.
Oh.
How many matches do you think Jake Hager has had in 2022?
Oh, like singles matches?
Singles matches.
This is the third.
This is actually his first.
Oh my God. What?
This is his fourth match overall.
Wow.
He had a tag match, a trios match, and the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Wow. It's like I guess he's training for UFC shit or whatever, so he's just not there.
Unless he was hurt and was just hanging out. I don't know.
Wow. DMD and the cronies in the back with Tony. Rebel's tits are out, and I appreciate that. She looks a little better in shape. Yeah,
she's
they're out.
turned to the side too.
Let them on a plate for everyone. It's
You see, I noticed. I'm looking at the Owen belt, and I just see how big it is, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, imagine if they still had the original women's belt. Remember how small that was?
it was tiny.
It was like a third of the size of the
Yeah.
Owen belt.
I find this odd because Britt is upset that Tony Storm touched the championship belt. She goes, the belt doesn't belong to you. And I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? Why would you be upset?
Because if you touch the belt, that automatically means you get a next title shot, I think.
And she's like, it's not, it's like the Stanley Cup. You can't touch
You don't
it.
get
And
to
I'm
jump
like,
the line because you picked up the belt.
I would like to see how many times she's picked up the belt from people. But meanwhile, the belt's not been around that long, I guess. Okay, so that's the issue. Little promo for hair versus hair. Do you realize what they're doing when they go like this? They were going like this, walking up the aisle. Did you see that?
No, I saw it, but I don't. Yeah, what is that?
That's sign language for bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
That's
bull
funny.
and shitting.
Mhm.
Bullshit.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I saw, I go, the fuck? And because I know that sign language. I know a little bit of sign language. And I'm like, oh, look, they're doing bullshit.
That's great.
There's certain things I remember, like, because I used to do, there was a PBS show, and it was called Say It With Sign. And every day I would watch it, and by the end of the episode, I could have a communication, I could have a conversation with what they taught, which was, I go, how did I learn this? They would each show each other things. I think they had deaf parents, they said. And then they were married. So they would show everything. And then at the end of the show, they would have a conversation with each other and then see if you could. And I was like, wow, I actually follow. I don't know how the fuck it's possible. And I follow along this shit. And there's a couple that just stick in your head, like banana is banana is peeling your thumb. It's a banana. I go, that's banana. And then here was two different ones. This one and this one. This is typewriter. This is piano. I was like, oh, okay. So if you have Godfather Plus, you see what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, so, and then I knew bullshit and fafangu. Lethal and the giant guy versus jobbers. The giant does nothing. He chops and he does a double
He did the double
flying
double
crossbody, motherfucker. It makes me appreciate, Faust, Big Show. Big Show, obviously, Big
true.
Show is the best giant ever. He has to be for working. Andre was horrible. I mean, look at the fucking Andre. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, we saw Andre at the end. Apparently, he could at least move around in the 70s a little bit. But
That was the thing, because, and it would be, would he double underhook someone and do a suplex? Hey, he's not doing anything either. And I'm really past the Giants phase of almost And this fucking guy, none of them
You
can
would
do
want
a
to see a
fucking
Satnam
thing.
Singh versus Almost match just to see the car wreck.
Well, that, yes. When you're saying for a car wreck, yes, I would. But you go, you're not going to, you're not going to ever be a good, it's always going to be a monster destroying people and the good guy that could chop them down. And then after that, they're going away. What are you going to do after that? You've proven you beat them finally, and now they're gone. You go, okay. Foot on chest, Undertaker. Let's remember that.
Exactly.
Never forget.
It's funny, during the match, Taz says that Satnam Singh was 5'9" at the age of 9.
That was great.
I'm like, Jesus. And he goes, I'm still not 5'9" as a grown-ass man, especially after that pile driver I took at 95 with Too Cold Scorpio dropped them on his head.
Fucking good. It's so fucking good. I was laughing because I'm like, you're not 5'9" now. That's fucking fantastic.
And then I got nervous after the match, after Lethal won with the double lethal injection. Don't give the new guy the fucking
No, that's a
win.
weird one too. Yeah, I was like, okay, put the
But
guy
instead,
in
he picks him up for like a razor's edge, and he kind of spun the guy, and it didn't land on his back. It wasn't clean.
We have Danhausen and Hook get golf carts because they won one match, so they get golf carts now.
Yeah,
and
they got all the monies.
Yeah, and Big Kaz's woman wants to suck off Hook now. Do you see that? Yeah, he lowered the glasses, and I'm gonna have Hook hair house. Hook hair house? Hook hair soon. Hair? Yeah, I'm gonna get it all and quaff it to the fucking side like a fool. Red Velvet versus Statlander, who looks so different nowadays. Faust, wink, wink.
Yeah,
the Statlander, I can't tell it's her. She's even got the makeup on again. Faust, like, what the fuck?
He goes, now that she's not an alien, the fans have really resonated with her.
Resonated.
I'm like, what?
Kira the ass Hogan jumps in after, and then Jade beats on her too. Anna Jay shows up. Athea shows up, which I'll call her that every time now because I told you Tony said it. Shows up and officials hold her back. I'm like, everyone's jumping. So, what are you holding her back for?
It's outnumbers, so she comes in to even it out. But no. Gotta save this.
Ethan Page and Top Team interview in the back. He just yells about Miro. Who cares? Because they're going to be in that fake Intercontinental title tournament coming up. It's time for the main event. It's Ospreay and this guy talks, and then the FTR and Trent, they talk.
Something, I don't know.
Faust, I had no clue that Ospreay was English. Didn't
really?
Even know. Fuck, I never seen him. Fucking, I never heard him. Nothing.
Oh, I was gonna say you couldn't tell when he was talking because I couldn't understand.
No, then I go
smiling.
okay.
Hello.
Now, who's the Family Guy, Cash or Dax? I should remember.
Dax.
I should remember Dax dad. Dax dad. That's how I should remember this. He says, you took money out of my family's account. Enough with the fucking family pig.
I know.
You pig. You're in your pig family. Nobody cares. And now I learned, Faust, it's Ospreay. I always thought it was Offspray. Ospreay.
Oh, like the mosquito repellent?
Offspray. I always thought, they always say Offspray. I go, okay, it's Offspray. And then I see it's Ospreay. So I go, all right, before I write Offspray. It's not a clean for a debut, of course. Things are missed.
Yeah,
it's a little sloppy.
It is for all the hype. Like I said, I've never actually seen this guy wrestle, but I've known a lot about him, and just to see, we're just going to throw him in this tag match on Rampage. I'm kind of like,
Cash and Will are not having the best of chemistry during this.
And where's Rocky Romero? Because that's Trent's partner.
Yeah, he's in Japan probably.
I don't know.
Trent pins one of the tag guys, keeping the tradition, Faust, of you're new, you do the job. Unless you're Punk.
That's what I wrote. Trent gets the win on one of the guys that is not named Ospreay.
Yeah, at least they didn't do that. They calmed down for that. Maybe we give this whole show, Faust, for free. How about we generous with this? But we put it out maybe a day later. That's what we do.
Yeah, there you go.
We do. We put it out for Friday. We'll do Friday morning for them. Everyone gets this now. Dynamite, baby. Episode 141. Now, it's Road Rager, and I appreciate this. This is a good gimmick, I think. They have a special that's just called this because it was a year since the pandemic when they 1 year since they started with crowds again.
Oh,
so that's what they were celebrating.
No,
they go, it's 1 year since we got back. So I said, that's fun. Every time you would then do that. Okay, I like it. I'll take it. Hair versus hair.
Jeff Hardy celebrated a little too much over the weekend.
He goes, I
his
thought
own
we were
road
doing.
rager.
It's like we're doing a rager and he's drinking. Hair versus hair to start this pig. They call Jericho the Wizard, Chris Jericho. Now he's this
Wizard.
the versus Santana or Ortiz. I don't know who.
I think it's Ortiz.
I think so too.
I don't know. I thought he was going to go rob a bank with Chris Tucker and Lorenz Tate.
True Life Faust. And I have been worried the last week or so, and I go, I think this is swerving us. I don't think we're going to get what we want. I really
when it was
announced,
I'm like, I think Jericho's going to fucking do
right
it.
off the bat, yes, because
and
he's
then
a mess.
I see last week he's going on tour with Fozzy next month or whatever, and I'm like, he's not going to go do concerts bald.
I could see. I mean, obviously, a spoiler that Jericho didn't get his head shaved, but I'm thinking, there could be a down the road they go just grab him and tie him down and start shaving his head, and doing that. So I think it is coming because it was right after we saw his bald head from the pay-per-view that this really came down. They were like, and I thought that was also the thought. He saw it and said, "Fuck, I'm an asshole," So
it'd be the perfect time. Shave it and then go get all the plugs.
All your plugs done.
Transplant.
During the match, we get a commercial, Faust, and it is Sonny Kiss who says he's a trans woman, and this whole Pride Month thing. Meanwhile, when's the last time you saw a dude?
I was gonna say she's like gender fluid, so I guess one day he's a dude, can be a chick the next day. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They haven't had a match since we've been doing the show again.
Not at all since we've been there. And we saw Abaddon one time, never saw. I'm like, that's at least an interesting fucking monster to have around. Maybe Bray Wyatt go over there. I saw
they're coming out with the Abaddon action figure, and I'm like,
why?
It's not even on TV.
After a scrum outside the ring, we get Eddie backfisting Jericho, which is almost a pin, which I go, oh, shit. Because then you go, oh, is the revenge for the Eddie thing? Okay, good. Yeah. He loses this way. No, he kicks out. Then Fuego del Sol gets in the ring with a bat, and you go, oh, no. You see it coming. You go, motherfucker. And nails Ortiz. Jericho wins. And I go, well, this is good for Del Sol because he got nothing going on.
Yeah,
first thing I thought, okay, they have something for him to do.
Yeah, that's what I first thought. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to add this, this guy to the group now. And then
goes to take off the mask. I go, oh, good, because you want to get rid of that if you're going to be a new guy in the group.
Yeah. Well, my first thought actually when he was celebrating, I'm like, is that Sammy?
Really? I had Sammy. Zero. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not studying the Torah, but I'm like, I'm watching it, as I'm cleaning this fucking room. And so he takes it off, and I was like, oh, they got me, because I'm like, same size type of fucking bot. I mean, it didn't occur to you, right? So you go, oh, okay.
It's funny because JR is like, oh, Sammy, what have you done? And it just sounds sarcastic, with no energy.
I have to read, I'm upset by Sammy, Ortiz shaves his own head, and which was interesting because I was like, how's this going to go down?
Himself.
He does. Right in the front, he fucking stuck himself good.
He wasn't using a lawnmower 4.0, that's for sure.
So he's chopping off those nasty dreads. And I'm like, certain, and I don't think it makes you racist, Faust. Certain ethnicities look better and can pull it off more than look better with shaved heads. You tell me a bald black guy that doesn't look good. Every fucking shaved head, bald black guy, they got a beautiful shaped head. And I'm like, then you get us look like a fucking, Vincent Price Eggman on fucking Batman. Austin is the only one who's ever pulled it off. Him and Bruce Willis, the only two people in the world. Cy Sperling, no good. Austin, Michael Jordan, those people, fantastic. Cy Sperling, come on. Cy Sperling.
He's not just the president.
Thank you. And he's screaming blood and guts as he's cutting his hair off, right? And it's 2 weeks away. This is a pay-per-view, Blood and Guts? No. What is it on? It's on just a Tuesday or whatever, the Wednesday?
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I like
it's called Blood and Guts.
Because there's going to be blood? No gut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's blood and guts, but it's...
Just say there's no guts, though.
No, it's because when Vince McMahon was talking shit about AEW, oh well, we don't do blood and guts.
Oh, really? That's funny. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Yeah. Well, we just pay off women we throat fuck. That should be one of the fucking pay-per-views. Throat fucks. I'll cut my hair first. Throat fucking. Throat fucking. Throat fucking.
We're gonna call this pay-per-view NDA.
Dude, I am telling you, I see it now already. There will be something that is called NDA, but it will have different what it is. But they will. This will be used. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Goldberg on the way to the ring from the back. I mean Wardlow. Sorry. Wardlow versus, they call them the plaintiffs. All wearing staff shirts. I giggle.
I wonder if any of these guys were actually ones that previously got beat up.
Oh, that'd be great.
Like,
nobody.
We're local. Let's just get the local guys.
Why would maybe they fly anyone in? They're not doing that.
And then you notice. So Justin Roberts wasn't on the show. They had
it was a chick.
Dasha. What was she in WWE? Dasha Fuentes, I think.
Yeah. What's her name now?
Dasha like Gonzalez over there or something.
Thank you, Raquel.
She has to keep track.
Oh my God! Did you see her? There was a couple.
Number 3 and 4 have been eliminated.
3, 4, 5, and 6 are now gone, and she's like this, holding her hand up to fucking remember what numbers are going away.
And sometimes when Wardlow was pinning the pile, there was guys like laying on their stomach. I'm like,
dude,
wait, that shouldn't count.
And I wrote the same thing. I go, pinning 4 at once, but they're laying on top of each other. Yeah. What? Okay, at least Roman when he did Bryan and Edge. It was backsliding on what they're done. Both, yeah.
The last 2 guys that got power bombed on the fucking pile. Oof.
Yeah, I was like, don't lift your elbow to get fucking stuck here. After the match, Wardlow wins. After the match,
case has been dismissed.
That's great. Yeah, never mind. We're done. So he chases that Sterling into the ring, who's dressed like Spider-Man, and he gonna get him, and then Lambert up there. You motherfucker! There's 2 UFC guys in the front row, Hughes and Woodley, and they're gonna whoop you. And they get into the ring. This Hughes, how fucking beaten has he been? Because he can't fucking move. He was like crippled almost, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I think
Woodley will fuck you up, but
so he got hit by a train.
Really? There you go. Now go in and fight Wardlow.
Yeah, 2017.
Wow.
His truck was hit by a train.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that. Let me see it.
Good thing for the truck.
Yeah, at least he survived death.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
Okay, I just thought he was punch drunk.
So I was like, oh man.
They get in the ring and Wardlow goes, "Hey, you Midwest boys like me, you're from here, you fight for good."
We cut from the same jib,
the jib. And they jump on Sterling, and then good guys. Yeah,
how quickly he was able to talk them into not beating him up.
Well, listen, they're punchies. I mean, he goes, "This guy been hit by a train. Do you really need to fucking worry?" Yeah. I think Sterling could have beat him up probably. Offspray versus Family Man Dax. And Faust, in every match,
I'm gonna start calling him Dax the Hitman Harwood.
That's a good
because he loves Bret Hart.
Jerking off to Owen's Family Man stuff. Don't jerk off to Bret's because Bret was busy. We know that.
Oh,
so just Owen. Now,
so Dax has the AAA belts again because we hadn't seen those shitty belts in a few weeks.
They go, I'd rather wear the other one. Yeah.
And then Ospreay has the Rev Pro British belt because we need more belts on this show, even if it's, they're not being defended, but I'm like, jeez.
Ultimo Dragon laughs at them all, Faust.
That is true.
Carrying 12 to the fucking ring. Now,
and neither have an AEW belt. That's just what's funny. We see 3 belts in the ring. None of them are AEW belts.
Why does every match, Faust, maybe not in the Wardlow one, there is a quote unquote cutter.
Some sort of cutter, yeah.
And why not call it the Diamond Cutter? That's not a straight WWE guy, and that was the originator. Call it the fucking Diamond Cutter.
And you got to have a lethal. Well, at least Jay Lethal, it's a lethal injection. It's not a lethal cutter. Or Jay Cutter.
Jay Cut. Since Offspray lost his first match in the tag team, now he's allowed to win. His crew shows up afterwards.
At least in this match, I can see he's, a talented wrestler at least.
Yeah, and I always, it's weird to me to see like tag team guys having a match and thinking they could win. You go, well, you're not a guy. Yeah, so you go, okay. The crew shows up afterwards, the English guys. Then Roppongi Vice, Faust, I like to say the name Roppongi.
Right.
They show up, and then the Orange Cassidy music hits, and he gets a fucking kickback LOD pop out in this fucking crowd, right?
So everybody's fighting in the ring, right? They're all brawling. Orange, saunters down to the ring.
It's very
difficult. And
by
the time he gets there, everybody's gone.
Except for one.
Just him and Ospreay face to face.
So here, I always go, he is not the guy to do the run-in. He can't do a run-in properly.
Mm-hmm.
This is the character. The stroll in, and he goes just face to face, and the guy leaves. And I'm like, okay.
So later in the show, they say, well, it's been confirmed Orange Cassidy will challenge for the IWGP US title at Forbidden Door. I'm like, wait, he's the IWGP US title holder, but that's not even the belt he had in the ring. It was the fucking Rev Pro belt. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Why didn't he have that belt with him?
Why do they do this? It's such easy little stupid fixes too,
Yeah.
And as bad as these things are...
We get another convoluted segment coming up next.
Well, as bad as these things are, I think they're still better than WWE.
Yeah.
I really do think the show is better.
Sometimes it's just a lot of too much going on in AEW, especially, I get it, this New Japan stuff, for their hardcore.
This is rough for me, this part.
But when it's me and you, where it's like, we've heard of some of these guys, but we don't know them. Yeah. And then the problem is they
like the next
don't
segment?
Explain who, yes. Like
they have to, in their speech, they have to do a John Cena. So what you're saying is at SummerSlam, right, if this happened, you're like, okay, because the guy is a fucking mess.
Like, okay, so Tanahashi, you could have shown me like a 60-second highlight package or put over Tanahashi for 60 seconds just to build him up so I know who he is.
And I don't even know if that would help, tell you the truth.
It's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. Like at least we said like Max Dupree was delayed at the airport. At least they said that.
Right.
Something.
Say his name right.
Max Dupree. Speaking of Max, here's Mox. Mm-hmm. John Lee. Mox Lee. And Tanahashi talking the ring. Well, at least Mox does.
Well, hey, Tanahashi won last week. I'm shocked. I thought the other guy, what was his name? I don't even remember. We knew it was going to be Tanahashi because it's supposed to be Tanahashi and Punk. So,
but
don't even show a highlight. Again, they could have showed a quick highlight. Oh, here's Tanahashi beating Goto or whoever it was.
So as soon as it's time for this Tanahashi to talk, Jericho's group come out with Sammy and Tay. They come out. And then all the bad guys run in to beat up, like from behind Lance Archer and some other Jap. They run in to beat up Mox and Tanahashi. Now, I start realizing, how old is Tanahashi? Because he can't bump. He falls down softly, and they're barely fake punching him.
I'll look it up. I was just looking at what he was wearing. I was just looking at his outfit because he's wearing like a gray suit, but then he had like these blue sneakers on. Like he looked like he worked like a host at a cheap sushi restaurant or something.
I was really, because he doesn't look old, but I think his body age probably, like he looks like he's been worn the fuck out. So they're barely hitting him, and I go, fuck, is he fragile? It must be an Italian-Japanese guy,
What's his first name?
Tanahashi.
Oh, he's 45.
That ain't, he's got miles. He's got a lot of miles.
He's been wrestling since 99.
That shit'll add up on you. So Jericho says, here's new members of the JAS, Faust. Sammy is in now again. He's with them because they go, fuck it. Why not?
With eye contact. Did you hear did you hear what he called the three of them?
No.
Well, because him and Sammy used to be Los Sex Gods, and now they are Los Tres Sex Gods.
Oh, Jesus.
So like, he wants to have a three-way. Jericho does.
He's begging. I'll taste what it is from you. Sammy's in there, Archer, and then the other Japanese guy, whoever the fuck he is, which will be gone once this Forbidden Door is gone. Then, right?
Right. So that's why I was confused, like why Archer was in there, but then Jericho said something like, "Oh, Archer and this other guy." Desperado.
Yeah,
they're on
Desperado.
loan. They're on loan from Suzuki.
Yeah.
I'm like, but Archer works here.
Yes.
So, anyways, I'm like, so it's Jericho's going to be tagging
Sammy.
with Desperado and Archer? No, he's not. He's teaming with Sammy and Suzuki versus Yuta, Kingston, and some other guy. I forget his name, but he did mention that it was Red Shoes, the referee's son.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay. So these other guys, everybody else is brawling in here. They have nothing to do with the match. So
Wow.
we had this whole Mox and Tanahashi thing just to set up Jericho's trios bullshit match.
And the first thing I was worried about too, I go, oh, Jericho Society, modern day NWO. Now there's gonna be 50 people in this fucking. This is the first thing I go.
They're gonna have a Japanese faction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So way to take the focus away from the actual interim title match.
Tony's interim. Don't even fucking. I can't wait till Suit reviews it with us because we're just gonna find out from him. Tony Storm interview in the back. You know what I would like Suit to do is come on right after it was over, but it's probably going to be way late for him. If you do it right after it's over and we haven't looked at Twitter, nothing the whole time. So he tells us actually what the fuck happened and we don't have a clue what happened and get reaction. That would be the dream. Tony Storm interview in the back. DMD, you were in school. I was a dropout and had to blow my way to the top. You became a dentist. You had things in people's mouths and I had people in my mouth.
And I had fingers in myself and got caught on
fucking
film. And
four fucking fingers stuff. She went after it that time.
She got that cramp in her.
She went on Anderson into herself. The IC tournament, Faust. It's Miro versus Ethan. All Pacific Northwestern South Side World Championship. Methan. Miro versus Ethan. Another cutter attempt, Faust. The Ethan cutter. Here we go. Miro wins. He's going to win this whole thing, I would assume, since he's a redeemer now.
He's got to redeem himself. What do you think of his music?
I go, yeah, kickback Vikings running. I'm expecting the Vikings to run out of the tunnel, is what the fuck I was expecting. Evan Bourne versus, not versus, but they're talking in the back. And he goes, I'm sick of that people saying the potential to be great. I'm going to be good. But he's got to fight Moxley Friday, so you're going to lose again.
Yeah.
Now what?
I know. We've seen him lose to Moxley, and they're showing highlights. And then he goes, he calls himself Inhuman. I go, oh, because Statlander's not using that gimmick now? He's going to use it.
I have to do mine. Okay. Britt versus Tony. Tony wins clean. I'm glad they have somebody who could wrestle over there. Although there were weird things in this match where it almost looked like they really started to fight each other. Like they started punching each other, and it was like, was somebody getting a little too stiff with each other? Okay. So Tony wins. So,
yeah, this is weird too, because Britt didn't have the Owen belt on this show.
But she was all pink, yeah.
And then after the match, Thunder Rosa comes out just to, oh, hi. And then they say, okay, it's going to be Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa at Forbidden Door. So New Japan, they don't have women wrestlers, do they?
I don't know.
That's why they don't.
I would assume they do.
I don't know.
All those people that come from what's her name? The one chick, Kairi Sane and all that? She didn't come from there.
It's somewhere else. It's called Stardom or something.
Oh, just not their organization.
Why couldn't they have just had Tony Storm win the Owen? So that's why she would get a title shot instead. They had to give it to Britt, and then Britt just turns around and loses to Tony Storm anyway. Would that have made more sense?
This is why you're on the show, Fred. That's the only reason. Because I just go, okay. I accept whatever I'm seeing and go, all right. And you actually have normal thoughts where I wouldn't even have thought twice. Like, I go, it's something so Britt could have something. That's all I see. It's like, okay, Britt, you have a fucking, you're still winning, but you don't have the women's. And meanwhile, you're ready to it's right afterwards. It should have been for the next shot at the title. Clarence Mason in the back, he says Jade will have an open challenge on Friday. And then Willow Nightingale shows up, and he doesn't know who the fuck she is. Like, you want to be a baddie? I go, she's a fatso. What do you mean I'm fat? I don't know who she is. She said her name. Fucking kidding me?
That's what I put in my notes. Somebody walks in. I'm like, oh, okay, they finally said her name. I know she's been on like once or twice.
Yeah, I do remember the name. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that she was a pig, though.
Yeah, it's not Will-O-the-Wisp.
No. They get now she's going to get the challenge on Friday. Good luck. Cowboy, he goes to the ring. And he says, I challenge. This is real fucking weird, though. This is a talk about. Smoke started to come out of my, and I couldn't even follow along after a while.
He says, last week I called out Okada because he was the New Japan champion. He goes, but I'm a dumbass, and I didn't take into account he might lose. And he did. He goes, so my challenge still stands. So I'm like, is he challenging for the belt or is he challenging Okada still? We don't know because Cole interrupts and he doesn't have his own belt anymore either. So I wonder if we're never going to see those on TV
think you
anymore.
shouldn't. I mean, you can't carry that fucking unless you do.
Away.
You know what? He should carry it like Owen carried the Slammies. Just hold it on forever. You know,
He should
woo!
hold
I
both of
did
them.
it.
He should take Brits.
Yeah, should. That'd be good. He wants to now challenge again, and Cole's like, no, because my guy Jay White, he won it, and I'm gonna have to match with him. Fuck you, you're not going to. In fact, he'll come out right now, and he go from behind, he El Kabongs, and then
his
he goes,
sister Abigail.
Yep. So I laugh every time with those things. I go, oh, I know that move, and then he says, oh, and Cole, you're not getting your shot either. And
Cole's like,
then
what?
he doesn't say to who he is. You go, well,
Yeah.
okay. So Leo
What do you
Kruger
think
is now the Japanese champion, whatever the fuck title that is.
What do you think of the title, the IWGP?
I think it
belt
looks better
itself?
than the fucking AEW title.
I'm
not
like,
jumping up and
look,
down.
Another belt we're gonna get to look at on the show.
You know, I do, and I say it, the best belts they have are the tag team belts. I think by far the tag team belts are way better.
I like the tag team belts, yeah.
So speaking of after he leaves and everything, and then it's a fucking, why? What happened? Why is he leaving? So I was moving all night long, Faust, the whole fucking show. And I didn't even fast forward commercials. I'm just busy running around, right? Because I forgot it was even, I go, fuck, it's Wednesday. I'm busy with this. And then I see the ladder match comes on. I sit down to watch this. I said, I need to watch. And I don't know if it's for as much as who is in the match or the match, because I think ladder match is my favorite match. I love a ladder match. There's always something involved in it.
Now, this is basically a TLC match without calling it a TLC match because they already had the table set up on the side. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I'm like, aha.
Yeah.
I was just waiting. I didn't see any chairs stacked up on the side, but there will be a chair later. It's funny when the match starts and they're, it's getting ready to start and Jungle Boy's coming down like, oh, Jungle Boy, there's his family right there.
Yeah.
And Excalibur's like, yeah, that's cool. Hey, but I want to thank DraftKings.
He's got to go through 5,000. And I laughed because Tony said, hey, I missed that one part. Say it again. And he's like, fuck you. He was out of breath. He's got to look through that mesh of his eyes. He can't see the paper. There's just light in his face. Okay, Bucks versus the Jungle Brothers Tag Team Championships. Tables are fucking exploding. Pieces are shooting into. I go, that's fantastic. That's what I like to see. But goddamn commercial in the middle of it where I'm watching it going, some big shit's about to happen. Like it were close to the big shit about that. And I'm like,
because at first they were just showing replays because it was like
everyone dead.
Arana, Nick went through the table, then they tried to do the same spot again on the other side, but then Jungle Boy got power bombed through the table. And then it's funny because Nick kicks Luchasaurus on the outside. Yeah. And then he just turns around and lays down perfectly on the table.
I was going to mention the same thing. I go, he kicks him and the camera doesn't see him though. Yeah. And then I go, wow, he's laid out nicely on that fucking table.
And then a 450 through the table, man.
Yeah. There was a lot of great spots. I enjoy a spot, Faust. That's what I like. Eventually fucking off the top of the ladder, going through 12 tables on the way down. One
tables,
of those.
Yeah. I still like to this day when there's like, especially when there's like four guys on the top of two ladders, when they're like way at the top, I still kind of like, get tensed up, you know, because it could go bad.
I'm really surprised we have not seen anyone blow his knee out, and have their leg like sideways from falling. Like it doesn't happen. which God bless. So
you'd think, someone pull Sid.
Yeah, exactly.
Jumping off the second
you
rope.
would think get caught in something. First time.
Did you know? I was gonna say, did you notice this too when Luchasaurus was climbing the ladder with one of the Bucks on his back, and as soon as he gets on the back, he's not even on the ladder yet. One of the referees climbs in the ring to hold the ladder. Then he starts climbing up. Then a second ref comes into the ring to help hold the ladder down.
I have noticed all the time now with the ladder being held.
I know they're being safe.
Yeah.
But.
And I've seen the sneaky ones in WWE where they're on the floor holding it against the corner on the fucking bottom, shit like that. So Bucks end up winning this and they're first ever 2-time champions. And you notice Christian wasn't there ringside the whole time too.
No, he walked out with them, whispered sweet nothings into their ears before they went to the ring.
So he's convalescing with a Luchasaurus and making sure. I
wouldn't be surprised if Luchasaurus was really hurt because he took a power bomb on the ladder and it did look like he hit his head because he grabbed it right away, unless he was just really selling it. But
he was holding this, he was holding his shoulder when he was laying down. Yeah. So I was like, maybe he dislocated his shoulder. Who knows? And then, of course, Jungle Boy's hurt in the ring with his knee, and they get helped out, and Christian's helping him to the ropes. And you knew it was a pink Cadillac.
And I still popped. I don't know.
Really?
I just thought it was a smooth transition. And then maybe because JR's like, wait a minute.
You son of a bitch.
Wait a minute. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I go, this is the first time he had some life in him, too. I was like, oh, look at you. Son of a bitch. I'm like, oh. So, yeah.
That time he sounded like he meant it. It's not like, oh, Sammy, what have you done? Christian,
So they throw him back in the ring. He does the fucking, he goes, this happened to Edge just recently, so I'll do it to someone else. And he gave him a concerto, El Kabong.
Takes this leather
and the
jacket
family's
off and
like
throws
this.
It on his head.
Fuck. Family's watching. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, where's this lead? Him versus Christian? I mean, what the fuck?
And now Christian should start his own faction. Judgment Day ripoff.
Oh, that'd be fucking so great. He could.
House of Cage.
House of Cage. That works perfectly. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, that is it. That is all we got for your AEW.
You can start the NDA stable.
Oh, my God. Faust, here we go. It's going to be like the Voodoo Kin Mafia. That's what this is going to fucking be. The NDA. All right, you can get to all of our nonsense at patreon.com/Lingus Mafia if you want to hear these shows like this where it was full and complete, but you will get it on time. You can go to different tiers and watch this video destruction. Go to belowthecollar.com/Lingus Mafia and check out our t-shirt that we have out there. And Twitch, TikTok, not Twitch. We don't do Twitch, but there is one with our name on it.
One of these days we will.
Everything is with at Lingus Mafia if you want to find us. So that's it. For Fausti Walnuthausen, I'm Cav Manninghausen. And yes, we'll see you next time. You see.